Abusia, I had Ghana politics avenue, so Abusia, Umayambo Ryan Semo. Abusia, so unsubscribe and no subscribe and no share. No, I hit notification bell, no, so am I. Say and send me about political airline, so I need the P apa domo. Abusia, Mummy and Quay Semo. Abusia, air lawyer MartinKpebu and so abedrop a year hot explanation be ever a tribunal court bill no. And I say a fast track justice no drop some explanation be say ebusia osisa bill no e wo ho dada na I say omumpa say to emre bi abra na JJ Rollins ne Kwame Nkrumah no omum de that bill no adwuma underground and I say some laws bi wo wa ana use that bill no the man no but see the government ni say where or that bill need to say permanently a bit me aboa judicial system ni to bill no there idea na bill no so ebeboa ama ye judicial system because onim say court case no edoso nti saa tribunal yi no some be kanwa ebema court cases ni bi delay the time no yenjin to na yemane embra fast any explanation be so or ye kan ye buy the muyenkotie nsemo or kan ye buy the yakabetro.
With the president in Alajo. Gentlemen, thank you. We're still live here on Key Point on TV3. Also live on 3FM 92.7 on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale and a number of radio stations across the country on the Voice of London Radio in the heart of the City of London and Voice of London Television as well. And as always, brought to you by Bank of Africa and GASEM. MartinKpebu, bring you on this matter of the tribunals and the fears as raised by the NPP. Yes. You have the bill. You have the bill, and whether those fears have been adequately addressed in this and also in the Constitution, because obviously this bill will be subservient to the provisions of the Constitution. That's why I reference 125 and 1444.
142, Tribunal is there. Okay, so let's start with this first. Senior Pierre-Kubi, let me disagree slightly on the matter of the treason. The 139 and then 140. What the one you're calling the contradiction, the 143, is just saying that when you bring somebody on a charge of treason or high treason, don't mix any other offense with it. So don't add robbery or stealing. No, that's all. So there's no contradiction. Let's read it. What it says is that the High Court shall have no power in a trial. You see, it says no power in a trial for the offense of high treason or treason to convict any person for an offense other than high treason or treason. So it just means that don't add any other charges. When you say high treason, only high treason. If you say treason, only treason. Don't go and put murder, put stealing, robbery. Don't mix. That's all that it means. So there's no contradiction. Oh, otherwise, long ago would have corrected it. Now let's come to the bill. So as you rightly stated, this matter of the PS, it's normal that some politicians want to do politics with it. Samuel Jinapor saying on the floor of Parliament that it will be an opportunity for party apparatchiki to come and seek to convict opponents. Yes, it's a good caution. It's good. It's a good caution, all right? Because that's always been the fear. It's not only this. It's just like when there is time for elections, some people go and bring their rolling tapes. They will play. Makola women were whipped. People were killed under the Rawlings administration. The High Court judges were murdered under Rawlings. It's the same kind of argument. It's just to remind people that, oh, these are the people who killed the judges. That's the NDC people. Their precursors killed the judges. They whipped Makola women. It's the same thing. So, but you know. Yes, that's why. Yeah, I said it earlier. So you see, we agree. It's a good warning because if we don't keep doing this, we'll never improve. It's because we warned and warned ourselves. That's why today we are a better society. That is it. That is why we are a better society. Otherwise, if it's just the word tribunal, in the UK they have tribunals. They use tribunal system, right? Yes, you see this compensatory tribunals, different tribunals in the UK. But ours, because of the revolution, That's let the blood flow, etc. Right? That's what. But we all know, as I said, when I started practice, the tribunals were still there, especially the regional tribunal. I remember for the lawyers who were at there's a court, AMA, facing the sea around the Baden Powell Memorial. Yes, I mean, yes. Justice Jakwasu was a regional tribunal, decent judge. Yes, and then there were other ones. Then later, so as the practice went on, later on, then they just stopped using it. But otherwise, I met the regional tribunal sitting over there, and they were doing cases. And like Eduji said, they don't do everything, not like the veritable octopus with 8 legs stretching its tentacles everywhere. No, they were specific ones. And this law too specifies them. So in order not to repeat the ones Eduji said, let me go for the fresh ones that have attracted my attention. Number 1. And so, you see that, let's also make this point as we go on. There are people who say, Ora Yamutu, Ora Yamutu. I thought that they want quick justice. No, that's Ora. That is part of Ora recovery. It's because people say, oh, it's taking too long. Ora Yamutu. Now, Ora is bringing fresh laws to make it faster. He say, hey, everywhere you pass, he say, hey, if you hadn't...
Ora that is bringing the law.
Yes, but it's part of Ora is a government policy. Operation is not in the manifesto.
Exactly.
Operation Recover All Loot, and Ghanaians voted for it, so we support. So that's Ora trying to bring new laws so that we go on quickly. So let's go to the second schedule to the law. You see that for the Galamsey ones, they say when we start, we must finish within 42 days. Because it says the schedule, all right, and I say, so right now we say clause 38, sub clause 4. You see timelines for determination of a case under Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703. So you see it. 42nd day judgment. So let's go through quickly. 1, filing and service. On the 7th day, there's appearance and answer. That's the arraignment. Then 10th day, pre-trial. Then 15th day, start the trial. Then 21st, end of trial. Then 42nd day, judgment. Quick. That's in the schedule. So that's our innovation, quick justice. And some of the cases, if you read the history, if you read our history, those is the tribunals. Yes. Some of them, in Okwe's book, yes, Junior Okwe, your dad's book, you see there. I remember clearly those days reading it. One of them, the person, he said, yes, they brought me and quickly they were done. Yes, he was happy that the trial had come quick. Yes, in your dad's book, I remember. All right? He said he was happy that quick, it was done. And besides, is the cry of the Ghanaians for speedy and effective justice that has brought back the... Listen. Now, so let's go to the next point. You will find that in clause 41, it says we should do what? Daily trial. It's not new, except that this time we are writing in the law. You remember Jachi Kwesin's case, that time when we were fed up with the NPP. When they sought to do the Jachi Kwesi case daily, some of us were very upset. We just felt that it was a political witch hunt. But my point today is that you see the debate, and eventually the court said there will be a daily trial. The court said there will be a daily trial. You see, NDC, they are forgiven. That judge is even been promoted. She's in the Court of Appeal. So you see how it works. The judge said there will be a daily trial, and so it was. Then Nam1's case came. When Nam1's case came, they weren't doing daily trial. Then we said, no. What is good for the goose is good for the what? So we made noise that Nam1's case should also be done what? Daily trial. So this daily trial now finding its way in clause 41 means that we've had political debates, and as a society at the end of the day, we've come to accept it's not new, but it will lead to quick and effective justice for daily trial. Then third point. My third point is on the matter of stay of proceedings. You were in the NCA case. I think in that case, Justice Chebafu, he gave in part of the ruling, he expressed disquiet about...
No, he actually called for legal reform.
Exactly.
And gave an indication. And look, when we're doing the NCA case, there was one time when we did an appeal because some evidence issue. My lord said he will proceed with the trial as we go ahead. So we went to the Court of Appeal and applied for stay. Côṛřupt, Justice Tanko, and 2 others. What they said was that if you go to Nigeria in trials of that nature, within 21 days, all interlocutory appeals are dealt with. And they felt that the time had come that this thing is not left to judges alone, but then there should be legislation. So when I saw it in the public tribunal, the bill, I said, oh, okay, is there a way to ensure that? But then it's also limited to certain specific offenses.
Yes.
Maybe it should be broader.
Excellent. It's limited. So you see, Justice Chamber was rulings years ago. And there's been a public debate. I remember one time I was interviewed on radio, one of this, they took it up. That the judge is saying, can't we do away with this interlocutory appeal because they delay? We know how, when you have strong political actors, they find all manner of means to delay. So that it will be the next general elections, and hopefully their party will come.
There are lawyers who are specialized in that.
Yes, exactly. That's their main
Martin is a specialist.
He's a specialist.
You're accusing each other.
But it's not like it's part of the trade. Anyway. The law is made. It's part of it. So you see, we've had debates on this.
The bar must prosper.
You see, and those lawyers who did Swiss cases, the Attorney General had to discontinue and do withdrawals. You should find out those the lawyers are reaping benefits for, fighting the system till there was a general election.
Till the nollie prosecutor.
Excellent. So you see, and citizens have learned, and you see that there's been a lot of disquiet by citizens that will not allow this, will not allow this. So you see that there's popular support for a daily trial. There's popular support for stopping these interlocutory appeals that waste time. That wastes time. You see the Nigerian one ABG mentioned. That's what the British do. Oh, but at the end of the day, you have the right to continue the appeal.
So you see, in the UK and the US, for instance, like Martin is saying, once there's criminal trial start, it's continuous till it ends. No break. But ours, the opportunity is there.
Which we are now doing away with. It's because we've stigmatized the prisons a lot. And also, I think it's the overcrowdedness and all that. The way we don't allow rights, even including conjugal rights. People who are married, they should be allowed to see their wives.
By now, you, as one of the strongest advocates, should be applauding President Mahama.
Yes.
The community
center. Yeah, we are coming.
That's going to be our next. It will be our next topic.
We'll be coming on the
We'll be coming to that. We'll be coming to that. We'll be coming to that.
You know what? Let's mention this before I forget. Even though today is not for the asset declaration law, you know, the last time we made noise, the next day, Honorable Dafama Paul gave me the bill. And I saw in it the publication of the assets. Yes, we will make improvement, but at least it's in there. Remember, even the IMF came in and said, remove us.
As part of the conditionality for the bill, for the bailout too. They even added it.
Yes. But my only problem with IMF is that
declaration.
Yes. But the problem with the IMF is that they should have made it a condition precedent. They've allowed the Kufuor to escape. IMF, this politics, condition. We started taking the bill away.
Yeah, this president, I can't go to
IMF. This one we're blaming.
IMF is still
No, he's trying to say that Nanado got.
Hey, now you are coming to explain what he's trying to say. Let me stop.
I am Joseph the interpreter.
Oh, you are not an interpreter. Nobody has had a dream.
Let him explain. He said he's determined. Let him put in there. Oh,
focus. So the point I'm making is that if you look, and like Martin said, look, if the IMF had made it a condition precedent, it will have its own consequences. Because then the timely disbursement of the bailout would have been impeded. And we needed
so that would have been should have been met before any release.
Would have done it under certificate of agency. But because they left
Alfred,
thank you. Let him run up in 30 seconds.
At the end of the day, that's their opinion. That is not the issue. Look, with this bill, nobody is saying that it is good or it is bad. First things first. I have to make this clear. I'm happy that you have sent me. Quick one. Let me make the comment quickly. I'm happy that Edwin has also sent me the bill. In fact, I spoke to our head of the committee, Animedu, yesterday, senior. But he wasn't able to send it to me. So that's why I came also to ask the questions, because Ghanaians want to know. So now that you have answered them, we are going to scrutinize them properly at the committee level, and then we'll come up with and we need to come up with suggestions and solutions, because look, this work that we're doing in this country, everything must be subject to public scrutiny so that we are all happy that the right law is applying. Nevertheless, I feel we could have achieved all of this or whatever we are seeking to cure, not necessarily with the public tribunals, but in the courts itself. That is the opinion that I also hold.
Okay.
The tribunals are also courts.
Well, yes, the tribunals are courts.
Yeah.
It's the constitution of it that they have a problem with.
Oh, is the word
Okay.
So let's continue. So now, the next point is that, so the tribunal, to show that it's properly ingrained in our court system. So for our viewers, if you Google Courts Act, you will get it. And under the Courts Act, you see how provisions of it are still in sections 24, 25, 26, right? And 27. So it's still part of our law. When you Google the Courts Act, so the part, so this is to answer the part Ukwe was saying that Rawlings hadn't established it. Rawlings, he signed the Courts Act 1993, 459. You see sections 24, 25, 26, and 27 still on the public tribunal. Apart from the one you mentioned.
No, but just by way of public information, if you look at the Courts Amendment Act 2002, at 620, it says an act to amend the Courts Act 1993, that's the Rawlings one, to abolish the circuit tribunals, to replace the community tribunals with district court. So if you notice, the district courts invariably came to replace the district tribunals and basically abolish it completely. But this one is a reintroduction more or less with clear delineations in terms of jurisdiction.
And from what we've said, the original one, for the original one, it's a specialized high court. It's still part of our law.
Yes.
That's why we refer to Article 142, 143. The original tribunal is still part. That's the ones I say I practiced before I saw. That they will tell you. But later they just didn't put judges in there. So we stopped. But it is still
the framework is coming to show us how to organize and the direction to go.
So the
jurisdiction.
Yeah, so the bill calls it revitalization. Revitalization. That's a word you find recurring in the bill. Okay. All right. I think because time is gone.
Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you very much.
On the need for the non-custodial sentencing bill, now community service bill, to be passed into law, and graciously it's been passed into law. I'm sure some of you may have followed what we did with the late Christian Achu, especially with regards to the payment of fines for petty offenders. And I think, so we at Crime Check introduced what we call the Petty Offenders Project. And it is the single largest intervention aimed at decreasing prison congestion. So, but we realized that it was not going to be sustainable, because for how long would you continue to pay the fines of petty offenders, release them, and so on and so forth? What is worrying, and for which reason why we advocated seriously for the passage of this bill into law, is that we all know that politicians and other categories can use technicalities in court to delay trials. But when someone steals a fowl or a goat, they are quickly shipped into prison. So that is it. But let me quickly add one component which we may have forgotten, for the migrant component. Migrant prisoners in Ghana are increasing.
Migrant prisoners, what do you mean?
Absolutely. So we are talking. So let's restrict it to ECOWAS migrant prisoners, because of the regional framework, ECOWAS Protocol on Free Movement, that ensures economic integration. We have lots of migrants moving in, and looking at mixed methods research that I have done, a PhD research, you realize that even Nsawam alone has 700 migrant prisoners.
Prisoners from, that's West African
absolutely.
ECOWAS nationals,
right,
who are in prison in Ghana.
Right. And some has 700. So if you are looking at the total prison population, if it is, let's assume it's 15,000, it is not Nsawam alone. Other prisons also have migrant prisoners.
All right.
Now, if you look at the category of offenses that they are committing, it doesn't fall, most of these offenses are not petty offenses. They are first-degree felony. Yeah. So if we are not careful, we will have a community service bill with the aim of decreasing congestion in our prisons, but replace that bill with an explosion of migrants who are not committing petty offenses, but committing other offenses. So it is worrying. And now, before I also go into convicts with specialized skills, I think lawyer spoke about it. We also have lunatic criminals and then prison discipline. Let me look at convicts with specialized skills with regards to the implementation of the community service law. If we are not careful, we will have challenges.
What challenges?
If the perception is created that someone is going to perform community service carrying a shovel, and so on and so forth, then we will defeat the purpose of reformation rehabilitation. Because someone may have a specialized skill who may have committed a petty offense. If you go to the prisons, we have teachers.
Okay.
This, you know, they were sent with an IHL tag in hard labor by the judge. But because the prisons realized that this gentleman can teach, they are teaching. You get a point? So what kind of community service? I think that we should have a broad definition of what community service, you know, mean. I get the feeling that...
So, but if you look at the aspect of the bill, and not to interrupt you, it says the offenders will perform meaningful public service, right? Does that bring some
that is it. It's still
vague.
Work will be
No, but
determined
you see,
by
if
the
you
court.
go further, it says the court, in consultation with the probation officer, taking into account the offender's health and circumstances. Circumstances here can be construed to mean skills and expertise and what have you.
Right.
Yes.
So that is what we
So
have
if you
to
have your
look at.
teacher come to teach you in a special dress, that's enough lesson to all the kids that, hey, you can be a teacher, and if you are not careful, you go in.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that is the point I was trying to make.
Absolutely.
So we have to tap into the expertise and not necessarily having, you know, people, the certain gutters and, you know, and so on and so forth. We also have another component. I call them lunatic criminals. They have entered the court system without perhaps the judge knowing that these people are mentally challenged. They go into the prison and cause all sorts of havoc. So I think that we also, just as the offender's health should be taken into account, we have to make sure that these people are in the right frame of mind to work. In the prison, there is a system where the prisons are able to track the health of these people. Some of them cause all sorts of havoc. So we shouldn't also lose sight of that fact. And also the component of prison discipline. When you are in prison, you can do what you want. How are we going to ensure that those who are going to go out to perform community service operate within the ambit of the law?
Tags and all that.
Absolutely. They don't do anything irresponsibly because they know that we are in the free world. And then I also didn't see that I haven't had the opportunity to read the full text, but our juveniles also part. We have a juvenile center. Let's look at their age. Let's look at their psychological development and so on and so forth. Does it incorporate juveniles? And if so, what exactly are they going to do? Because some of them are in prison, whether we like it or not. The Senior Correctional Center is a prison. So what roles are they going to play within the context of the community service? So all these are questions.
On the matter of, and I'll bring you on the matter of, you know, the persons who are going to be covered by this community service acting out of the scope and being in discipline. I think there's a provision in the bill that takes care of that. That's the penalties for non-compliance. So failure to comply with a community service order may result in the offender being summoned before the court. The order being revoked, and the court imposing a custodial sentence or another lawful punishment where appropriate. Right? Yes.
You know, Alfred, usually when I am having to speak on these prison reforms, I do that from the point of somebody who grew up close to a prison. So in my very early days, because my parents worked more or less at Ghana Water at Pando, and the Ghana Water facility was just, the treatment plant was just by the Pando prisons.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, just by the Pando prison. The water works is just by the prisons. In fact, it's just a few meters away. So the school, my primary school in GSS was actually called Pando Prisons, Presby, Primary and GSS. Because it was more or less a school set up for prison warders and their wards and what have you. Yeah. And the experience for me in those days was that we saw prisoners come in and go. Not only that, people we lived in the community who later became, like, got themselves involved in crimes, ended up going to prisons in Pando. And so at that formative years, you kind of, it was something on your mind that, hey, you know what, if you misconduct yourself, will be.
Busuan when I sema a year lawyer MartinKpebu ekafa a year fast track justice a year tribunal a year court bill no when a explanation or the my the Busuan so subscribe and not subscribe no share am I then send be brew a political highway so yadamase.